The council chamber floated in the darkness of space, a massive station that had stood for 5,000 years. Inside, representatives from 12 alien species sat in their designated seats. They called themselves the Galactic Order. They made the rules. They decided who lived and who died. Commander Volk of the Drazen Empire stood at the center. His 4 eyes scanned the room with pride. 3,000 years ago, he had been there. He remembered that day well. "We gather today to celebrate our greatest victory," Volk announced. His voice echoed through the chamber. 3,000 years since we eliminated the human threat. The other council members nodded. Some made sounds of approval in their native languages. Humans had been dangerous. Too curious. Too violent. Too unpredictable. When they first reached the stars, the Galactic Order had welcomed them. But humans asked too many questions. They refused to follow the old laws. They wanted to explore forbidden zones. They built weapons that made the Council nervous. So the Council had voted. 12 species agreed. Earth had to be destroyed. The attack came without warning. Plasma bombs fell from the sky. Oceans boiled. Cities melted. Within 3 days, Earth was a dead rock floating in space. The Council's fleets made sure no human ships escaped. They hunted down every colony, every station, every vessel. Billions of humans died. The Council watched and did nothing. "The galaxy has known peace because of our action," Volk continued. "The human disease was removed before it could spread." Suddenly, alarms screamed through the station. A junior officer from the Kelton species rushed into the chamber. His scales were pale with fear. "Commander Volk, unknown ships are approaching. Hundreds of them." Volk's 4 eyes narrowed. "What empire dares approach without permission?" "We don't know, sir. The ships don't match any known design. They're not responding to our signals." The council members stood from their seats. Concern spread through the room like poison. "Show me," Volk commanded. A massive holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber. Everyone watched as the image formed. Ships filled the view. Sleek vessels of dark metal. Strange designs that seemed both ancient and advanced. They moved in perfect formation. There were not hundreds. There were thousands. "Scan them," Volk ordered. "Find out who." The display changed. A face appeared. A human face. The council chamber fell silent. It was impossible. Humans were extinct. They had made sure of it. The human on the screen was a man. Middle-aged. Calm eyes. He wore a simple gray uniform with no decorations. His expression showed no anger, no hate, just cold purpose. "I am Captain James Reed of the Human Federation," the man said. His voice was quiet but clear. "We have waited 3,000 years for this moment." Volk felt something he had not felt in centuries. Fear. "Impossible," Volk whispered. "We destroyed you. All of you." Captain Reed's face showed a small, bitter smile. "You destroyed Earth. You killed billions. But you didn't kill all of us. Some escaped. A few thousand on deep space missions. Colony ships you didn't know about. Research stations in dark space." The captain paused. His eyes grew hard. "We ran. We hid. We survived. And we remembered." Another council member spoke up. "This is madness. You are a broken species. A few thousand refugees. You cannot threaten the Galactic Order." "A few thousand then," Captain Reed agreed. "But we learned from you. We studied your mistake. You showed mercy to no one. So we will show mercy to no one." The holographic display changed again. It showed a view of space outside the station. More human ships appeared. They surrounded the council station completely. There were too many to count. 3,000 years, Captain Reed said. We spent that time building, learning, growing stronger. We became what we needed to become. We evolved beyond your worst nightmares. Volk tried to speak, but his voice failed him. You taught us an important lesson, the captain continued. In this galaxy, mercy is weakness. Compassion is failure. You survive by being the strongest, the most ruthless, the most willing to do terrible things. Captain Reed leaned closer to the camera. His eyes were cold as space itself. We learned your lesson well. Now we're here to return the favor. The display went dark. Outside the station, the human fleet began to move. After 3,000 years of waiting, humanity had returned. And they had not returned for peace. Asterisk Commander Volk pressed the emergency button on his command panel. Red lights flashed throughout the council station. Deploy all defense fleets. Send distress signals to every order world. We need reinforcements now. The station's weapons powered up. Energy shields activated. Massive plasma cannons emerged from hidden ports. The Galactic Order had ruled for 5,000 years. Their technology was the best in the galaxy. Or so they believed. Incoming transmission from the human fleet, the communications officer announced. Ignore it, Volk snapped. All weapons fire at will. The station's cannons opened fire. Blue streams of plasma shot toward the human ships. Each blast had enough power to destroy a city. Hundreds of shots filled the space between the station and the fleet. The human ships didn't move. They didn't even try to dodge. The plasma bolts hit an invisible barrier and dissolved into nothing. Like rain hitting glass. The human shields didn't flicker. They didn't weaken. The most powerful weapons in the galaxy had no effect. Impossible, Volk whispered again. It was becoming his favorite word dot from the human fleet. 12 ships broke formation. They moved forward slowly, almost lazily. Each ship was small compared to the massive council station. But something about them felt wrong, dangerous. Sir, those ships are charging weapons, a sensor officer reported. Energy readings are. I don't understand. The numbers don't make sense. Nothing should generate that much power. Volk watched the holographic display. The 12 human ships glowed with white light. Brighter and brighter. The sensors screamed warnings. Brace for impact. Volk shouted. 12 beams of pure white energy shot from the human ships. They moved faster than light itself. The station's shields tried to hold. For exactly 1 second, they succeeded. Then the beams punched through, like the shields weren't even there. The impacts threw everyone to the floor. Systems exploded. Fires erupted throughout the station. Half the lights went out. The station's mighty shields flickered and died. Damage report, Volk demanded, pulling himself up. Shields are gone. Hull breaches on levels 40 through 60. Weapon systems destroyed. Life support failing in multiple sections. 12 shots. In 3 seconds, the human fleet had crippled a station that had stood for 5,000 years. Captain Reed's face appeared on the display again. Behind him, other humans worked at strange consoles. They looked calm, professional. This was just another job for them. You're wondering how, Captain Reed said. Let me tell you a story. Despite everything, Volk found himself listening. After you destroyed Earth, the survivors scattered. We had no home, no allies, no future. We were refugees in a hostile galaxy. We could have given up. We could have died quietly. Captain Reed paused. His expression hardened. But we remembered what you did. We remembered the screams, the fires, the billions who died begging for mercy you never gave. That memory kept us alive. It became our purpose. The display changed. It showed images. Human colonies hidden in asteroid fields. Underground cities on dead worlds. Massive ships built in the darkness between stars. We hid in places you never thought to look. We built in secret. We studied every species in the galaxy. We learned your strengths, your weaknesses, your technologies. More images appeared. Laboratories, weapons testing. Humans working with machines that looked like nothing the Council had ever seen. Then we did something you never expected. We improved. Every generation became smarter, stronger, better. We removed our limitations. We enhanced our bodies and minds. We merged with our machines. Captain Reed held up his hand. The skin became transparent, showing circuits and metal underneath. We're not the same humans you destroyed. We evolved. We became something new. Something you created by trying to exterminate us. The images showed human soldiers. They moved within human speed, lifted massive weights, survived in vacuum without suits. Their eyes glowed with internal light. For 3,000 years, we prepared for this day. We built weapons you can't imagine. Ships powered by captured stars. Armor that can't be broken. We became the monster you feared we would be. Volk felt his hope dying. What do you want? Captain Reed's smile was cold and terrible. Justice. You killed our world. Now we'll take yours. You destroyed our people. Now we'll scatter yours. You showed us no mercy. The captain leaned forward. We'll return the favor. Outside, the human fleet moved closer. Thousands of ships surrounded not just the station, but the entire star system. In the distance, more ships appeared. Tens of thousands. Hundreds of thousands dot behind Captain Reed. A woman spoke. Sir, all fleets are in position. We're ready to begin Phase 2. Execute. Captain Reed said simply. The screen went dark, and the galaxy learned what 3,000 years of human anger looked like. Asterisk, the human fleet spread across the galaxy like a plague. But they were not mindless destroyers. Every move was calculated. Every target was chosen with care. Captain Reed stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Remembrance. Around him, holographic displays showed 12 different worlds. The home planets of every species in the galactic order. Every species that had voted to destroy Earth. Status report, Reed commanded. All fleets are in position, his second officer reported. We have orbital superiority over all 12 worlds. Their defense fleets are destroyed or retreating. Planetary shields are holding, but we can break them whenever you give the order. Reed nodded slowly. 3,000 years of planning had led to this moment. The alien species below had no idea what was coming, just like humans had no idea 3,000 years ago. On the Council station, Volk watched helplessly as his empire fell. Every report brought worse news. The human fleet was unstoppable. Wherever they went, Order fleets died. Their weapons were useless. Their shields were paper. Their tactics were known before they even formed them. How? Volk asked the empty air. How did they become so powerful? The display activated on its own. Captain Reed appeared once more. You want to know our secret? Reed asked. It's simple. You gave us 3,000 years. 3,000 years of evolution, of improvement, of focused hate. While you grew comfortable in your power, we grew desperate in our weakness. Desperation makes you dangerous. Comfort makes you weak. Reed walked closer to his camera. Behind him, stars moved past windows. The flagship was moving. Every human child born in the last 3,000 years learned one story before any other. The story of Earth's fall. The story of billions crying out as they died. We made sure no one forgot. No one forgave. That pain became our strength. Volk's voice shook. What will you do to us? Reed's face showed no emotion. What you did to us. Your people voted to destroy Earth. They celebrated our extinction. Now they'll learn what extinction feels like. Wait. Volk shouted. We can negotiate. We can give you territory, resources, technology. Name your price. Our price? Reed's eyes grew cold. Our price was paid 3,000 years ago. In blood, in ash, in the screams of our children. There is no negotiation. There is only justice. But then Reed paused. Something changed in his expression. However, we learned something in our exile. We learned what happens when you become like your enemies. We spent 3,000 years preparing to destroy you, to wipe you out like you wiped us out. We became monsters so we could fight monsters. Reed looked away from the camera. For the first time, he looked tired. But if we exterminate you, we become exactly what you were. And the cycle continues, forever. Hope sparked in Volk's chest. Then you'll spare us? No, Reed said firmly. Mercy would be forgetting what you did. But there's something between mercy and extinction. Justice. The captain pressed a button. The display changed. It showed the 12 homeworlds of the Order species. Human ships surrounded each planet. Your military is destroyed. Your fleets are gone. Your weapons are useless. As of this moment, the Galactic Order is finished. Your empire is dissolved. Your power is broken. Reed's voice grew harder. Every species in the Order will be reduced to a single world. Their home world. No colonies. No expansion. No military beyond basic defense. You will stay on your worlds for the next 1,000 years. Quarantined. Watched. If any of you try to rebuild your empire, we will return. And next time, we won't stop. Volk felt his 4 eyes widen. You're imprisoning us? We're giving you the same chance you denied us. The chance to live, to rebuild, to remember what you did wrong. In 1,000 years, if your species have learned their lesson, we'll talk again. Reed's expression softened slightly. We won't become genocidal monsters like you, but we will never forget. And we will never let you threaten another species again. The captain saluted. It was not a gesture of respect. It was a gesture of finality. The age of the Galactic Order is over. The age of humanity has begun. Live with that knowledge. Live with your shame. And remember that we showed you more mercy than you ever showed us. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, human ships took position over the 12 worlds. Not as destroyers, as guardians, as jailers, as a constant reminder of what happens when you try to exterminate humanity. In the darkness of space, the human fleet spread out. New colonies were founded. New worlds were settled. Humanity reclaimed their place among the stars. 3,000 years of exile had ended. 3,000 years of human dominance had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The end asterisk.